Hanuk, also known as Enoch 14:8-25, and the vision was shown to me thus. See, in the vision, clouds invited me and a mist summoned me, and the course of the stars and the lightning sped and hastened me, and the winds in the vision caused me to fly and lifted me upward, and carried me into the Shamaim. And I went until I drew near to a wall which is built of crystals and surrounded by tongues of fire. And it began to terrorize me, and I went into the tongues of fire and drew near to a large house which was built of crystals, and the walls of the house were like a mosaic floor of crystals, and its groundwork was of crystal. Its ceiling was like the path of the stars and the lightnings. And between them were fiery cherubim, and their Shamaim was as water. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its portals blazed with fire. And I entered into that house, and it was hot as fire and cold as ice. There were no delights of life therein. Fear covered me, and trembling took hold of me. And as I quaked and trembled, I fell upon my face. And I saw a vision, and see, there was a second house, greater than the former, and the entire portal stood open before me, and it was built of flames of fire. And in every respect it so excelled in splendor and magnificence and extent that I cannot describe to you its splendor and its extent. And its floor was of fire, and above it were lightnings and the path of the stars, and its ceiling also was flaming fire. And I looked and saw therein a high throne, its appearance as crystal, and the wheels thereof as the shining sun, and there was the vision of cherubim. And from underneath the throne came streams of flaming fire so that I could not look upon it, and the great esteem sat upon it. And his garments shone more brightly than the sun and were whiter than any snow. None of the messengers could enter and look upon his face because of the magnificence and esteem, and no flesh could look upon him. The flaming fire was round about him, and a great fire stood before him, and none around could draw near him, 10,000 times 10,000 before him, yet he needed no counselor. And the most Kadashim who were near to him did not leave by night nor depart from him. And until then I had been prostrate on my face, trembling, and Yahuah called me with his own mouth, and said to me, Come here, Hanuk, and hear my word. And one of the Kadashim came to me and woke me. And he made me rise up and approach the door, and I bowed my face downwards.